family recipes aren't just about the flavor, they're also about the memories that are attached to it and how you pass on those memories using food as the medium. In this last episode of Finding Lost Recipes,
after he passed away, I can never ever find this dish again.
Fine dining chef Stefan's passing last year took everyone by surprise, including his family. And I am recreating a dish his wife misses most.
So is this cream the same as what Stefan would have made?
He had a little bit more funk.
It's like piecing together a jigsaw puzzle with no image reference.
It doesn't have that tartness that you're looking for there. Yeah.
But actually, I think you're missing two components. Yeah.
I'm still missing components. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Claresta?
Yeah.
hi, nice to meet
nice
you.
to meet you.
Jonathan.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice to meet you.
So why are we here?
Stefan, we live really nearby this
Yeah,
area,
right.
so he used to love to exercise around here, and then this is where he just go to work. He just walks.
Work?
Yeah,
he
he's walking
walks to
distance.
work.
Because as you know, like chef life is really busy.
Okay.
That's why I think like living nearby his workplace is like one of the best decisions that we made together.
Oh, super cute.
This is really the spot, literally here. When we host our friend's dog, we just let her run around here.
So this is where you guys will walk the dog and
Yes.
spend time together.
Correct.
Oh, why are you covered in paint?
Because we want to show like, you know, life can be fun, right?
So when do you guys get married?
January 2024. Havel officially opened in November 2023, so
Okay.
just like months away before we got married. Opening a restaurant is his life goal. His belief is that good food does not need to have expensive and luxurious ingredients, but all about the harmony between each other that is most important.
Havel's classy romantic interior is only made better by their chef's menu that serves up 11 quality dishes for 138 a person.
At the start, of course, it's not easy. Opening a restaurant in Singapore never been easy, but it slowly picks up.
Havel, fine dining experience without break your wallet.
And actually, right before he passed away, he just, you know, get an invitation from Michelin. But
From Michelin?
yeah, but it's just like not yet get the star, just like
Okay.
an invitation to actually submit the restaurant kind of thing.
Okay.
And he was in the midst of, you know, trying to, you know, get all of the information. But
Wow, but being invited by Michelin is already a feat in itself. So I would say that he kind of left us when he was almost at his peak.
definitely he left us way too soon, way too soon.
What dish is
Yes.
memorable to the both of you that you want me to recreate?
I think the cashew banana. Can you help me?
And why is this dish so special?
Because it's one of his signature. His menu changed several times,
Okay.
but it is something that never changed. It's always that. And also, throughout all of his menu, that is my favorite lah.
Is there anywhere else that sells this cashew banana?
No, that's why. I can never
Okay.
ever find this dish again.
So could you describe to me the taste of this cashew and banana?
Okay,
Based on
I'll try
memory.
my best.
Okay.
It's supposed to be eaten in one bite. Savory, but sweet at the same time.
So when's the last time you actually had this dish?
The last time I had this dish was in February.
February. So February
after his
20.
passing,
Right.
2025. I got a chance to actually dine in for the last time with the business partner.
So the restaurant has closed already?
Now, yes, that is the last time I tried the cashew banana.
So do you have a recipe?
Well, I have his recipe books over here.
At least I have something.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Wow, look at this.
But I think there is no cashew banana inside.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think
Oh
so.
no! If there's no recipe, I think we just have to kind of bang on your taste, you know, to guide me along.
Or actually, I can connect you with Tom, which
Okay.
is the business partner
Yep.
of the Havel restaurant. Yeah.
Maybe he might have something, like a recipe or
Yeah,
something
maybe,
that can guide
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, please send me his
Alright.
contact. We can
Sure.
work something out.
I reached out to Tong, Stefan's business partner at Havel. He will be contacting some of the chefs who work there to see if they have anything for me. Tong has replied, and he sent me a recipe that one of the chefs has written from memory. And from here I can see cashew nut cream. You know, this is cashew nut cream, 100%. And feel the break actually is what's used to make the base of the tart. The next one is banana. So it's cut with a ring mold to shape. It doesn't state, what kind of banana it is. So the last item is the shaved kelp, and I assume that's this bunch of things that's on top of the cashew nut cream. But again, I don't know exactly what kind of kelp it is, So I think I'm going to do a bit more research before I head out to get ingredients for my first draft.
Uncle 早 ，Hello
早
Hello Hello，
呀
我想买一些香蕉啊，但是我看到你这边很多香蕉。
这种是印度椒咯，这个就没有这样甜。那菲律宾的就比较甜，那个是辣椒来的，辣椒它可以炸。
总共5种哦。
对对。
Hello 早，可以买一些 cashew nut 吗？给我500克吧。
The recipe didn't say what kind of bananas to use, so I wasn't sure. I ended up getting a few different types. One of them is bound to be the right fit.
Bananas are used quite extensively in Peranakan and also Eurasian heritage cooking. A lot of it is also used in like desserts where you have things like apam bakwa, where you make those little patties where you add this banana sauce on top. So it's very common actually in Peranakan food. So according to the recipe, I've already soaked a batch of these raw cashews in water overnight, approximately 8 hours. We're going to blend it and we're going to make it into a cashew nut paste. It's actually really delicious. I think in terms of the cashew nut flavor, that really comes through with the mixture of the salt and the honey. I've actually gone to investigate this little topping that's on top, and that's the kelp. And so there are many different types of Japanese kelp. But I believe that it belongs somewhat to this particular type, a tororo or this or oboro kind of kelp. So we're going to give it a try and see the differences, all right? I feel that it resembles the middle one the closest in terms of texture. So I'm going to start with this particular oboro kombu and this particular banana for the first draft. Okay, so now it's the moment of reckoning. Let's try the test kitchen dish. Cashew nut and banana. Let's try. I think my brain just exploded. And I'm hit with this smooth, creamy texture of the cashew nuts. And then suddenly that banana pops in. That goes so well with the cashews. And last but not least, that melty, a little bit of chewy feeling from the kombu. Wow, that's absolutely good. One of the few who's tried Stefan's creation is his mentor, Michelin-starred chef Andrew Walsh. I'm taking my first try to him to see if his memory and his palate can tell me how close I've come. Thank you, Andrew, for meeting me. I've been tasked by Claresta to kind of recreate Stefan's signature dish, which is this cashew and banana appetizer. I've never tasted a dish before, honestly, and it's a real mystery to me. But I've created a first version of it based on a recipe that we kind of penned down, from a few people's memories. It may not be 100%, but I do need you to give me your best feedback.
I believe his was a little bit bigger. It was probably the next tart size up.
So give it a try, chef, and let me know how you think. Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Very good.
Thank you.
The banana is perfect, right?
Okay.
The cashew nut is beautiful and smooth. It's nice
Okay.
velvety.
So is this cream the same as what Stefan would have made?
He had a little bit more funk, because you can ferment the cashew nuts.
Oh.
Yeah.
So chef, I actually need to ferment the cashew cream.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can
okay.
ferment them. Put them in a nice container.
Okay.
About 3 times the amount of water in there.
All right.
Good splash of salt, not too much, just like almost like a salt water.
Okay. How would you describe the difference between a non-fermented cashew cream and one that's fermented?
It has that kind of more like, like that blue cheesy kind of, aged, that maturity on it, you know what I mean?
There's more depth in flavor.
It also lingers at the back of your palate a little bit longer. When I look at this dish, the dish had so much confidence about it, you know what I mean? It's very understated, almost a bit like Stefan's personality as well.
Exactly.
You know, most chefs, it's so easy to, fill that tart shell with Wagyu beef tartare and uni and caviar, and it's like,
Yes.
of course it's gonna taste good. But to take like cashew nuts, banana, fill the brick pastry, and some kombu, that's technical genius.
Chef Andrew actually showed me a little bit more about the dish. A few things were actually missing, like the funkiness in the cashew cream. It was supposed to be fermented. I didn't know that.
Fermentation has long been used to preserve food and enhance its taste, texture, and nutrition. I do it for my Nyonya achar too, but I had never tried fermenting cashew cream until now. After some research and experimentation, I let my blended cashew cream ferment for around 24 hours. It's a technique that's also found its way into fine dining, where chefs use fermentation to unlock bold new flavors. Time to bring in an expert and see what they think. My fellow MasterChef alum, Amir, happens to be a specialist in this area.
What's up, buddy? How are you? I knew that you were always into fermentation, so I need to recreate a dish, and it's like a fermented cashew and banana kind of snack. I've done like pickling before, achar, things like that, right? But I've never actually experienced or done nut fermentation.
Fermentation in general, it's more about a form of preservation that's used around the whole world. From sauerkraut to kimchi to achar, like you mentioned as well. It's just a form of preservation to prolong the lifespan of the ingredient you're using, right? I can talk to you more about it. Let's head into our fermentation lab. And,
Let's do that.
Shall we? All right, Jonah, come on in.
Whoa!
Welcome to the lab.
Oh, that's insane. This is really like a lab.
Like, it's temperature control. It has all the experiments over here.
Okay, so I'm actually going to try to ferment cashew.
Okay.
Right? So nut fermentation.
Yes.
So what kind of process is that like?
It will be like a lactose-style fermentation. So lactose fermentation is basically the lactobacillus bacteria converting sugars into lactic acid, which is where you get that slight tanginess as well. I think depending on what your end result is, the technique could vary a little, but the general science is still the same. The salt, water, and the cashews itself.
So when you mentioned about salt water, is there a certain percentage?
Generally 2% salt. The salt is to prevent bad bacteria from entering the fermentation process.
Okay.
So that way it keeps it a bit more stable, a bit more safe.
Wow man, what's this, bro?
So this is our pumpkin seed oil. So it's our lacto-fermented pumpkin seeds with the flesh and guts. And let you try it. So it has this really cheesy flavor that I really love.
Wow.
Like I liken it to like a fake cheese whiz.
Yes.
Right?
I get a hit of bit of tanginess as well, and that nuttiness, that pumpkin. I've tried yours. Well, I have something for you as well.
Yes, I see that.
I've gone online to search for ways to ferment cashew nut. So I have something here for you to try. So this actually has been fermenting for about 22, 23 hours so far.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe give it a try. Let me know how you think.
Yeah. Very creamy, I like that. I think it's not fermented long enough. It doesn't have that tartness that you're looking for. Essentially, it's a bit like a cashew ricotta cheese kind of thing situation, right? I think it's just missing that slight hint of sourness. I think maybe it needs to go a little bit longer. Yeah, just a tiny bit there. Yeah.
Alright, okay.
So if you're doing like a 1 kilo batch, maybe it'll take 3 to 7 days. But if you're doing a 5 kilo batch, maybe 8 to 14 days kind of
Oh
thing,
wow,
you know?
okay, so it gets longer.
Yes,
okay.
correct. So it varies on different temperatures, control, your environment, your volume. You have to take all of this into consideration when you're doing fermentation, basically. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh,
Appreciate
yes,
it.
man.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create more batches of these, and I'm going to test them at different temperatures leading up to 48 hours. And maybe let's see how that goes. Okay, this is the fermented cashew cream that I've done for 48 hours. The smell, definitely there is a funk. Okay, I'm going to give it a try. I would really akin it to like a cheese that has really matured. The non-fermented version, it was actually just cashew nut blended with salt. And then at the 24-hour mark, it was definitely a little bit funkier. Well, but this 48-hour one, there's an end note that's really a bit like sourdough. Yet it still retains that nutty profile. You can taste the cashew, 100%, and that creaminess. So previously we used this small mold, and Chef Andrew actually said that it's a little bit too small, so we're going to go one size up. We're going to cut our fil de brick.
This is the second version of the cashew banana appetizer, now with the fermented cashew cream. But I'm still not sure if it's on the right track. So I'm taking it to Amanda, an ex-colleague of Stefan's before he opened Hevel, who has tasted the original before. Her feedback could tell me if there's anything still missing.
This is the second iteration of the cashew and banana. So this is the tart shell.
It looks a bit bigger than the usual actually. Yeah.
Bigger?
Yeah.
So give it a try and let me know what you think.
Too much banana for sure. The cream.
Okay, here we go. The taste test. This is the second iteration of the cashew and banana. So give it a try and let me know what you think.
Too much banana for sure.
So, Amanda, what about the cream?
The cream, I think you can ferment it a bit less.
So it's a little bit too funky in a way. Like
From what I remembered, yeah.
okay, it was lighter tasting. How about the shell?
Texture and taste about the same, but actually I think you're missing two components. Yeah.
I'm still missing components. Oh my gosh.
Almost there, almost there.
Yeah.
So at the base, right, there was actually buckwheat that was toasted in brown butter.
Buckwheat.
Yeah. So it's a very nice like earthy fragrance to it.
Okay, so buckwheat in brown butter.
Then on top, I remember there was some caviar pearls as well, like the
Caviar
olive oil
pearls?
ones. Yeah.
Wow, this is getting more and more complex. Okay, Amanda, so what kind of caviar pearls are you talking about?
So those just have like olive oil inside, and
Olive
they
oil
just
pearls.
like burst a little bit when it comes into your mouth. Yeah.
So this dish just getting more and more complex. Olive oil caviar
Yes,
pearls.
olive oil caviar pearls.
So why do you think this dish is signature of Stefan?
I think this dish, everyone really enjoyed it. Like there was always good feedback for this specific canapés.
So what was Stefan like, inside the kitchen?
Really fun to work with. Yeah, he's quite a bit of a joker. I mean, of course, he has this serious side, especially when he had to take on like the head chef leadership kind of roles, right? But in general, just very fun to work with. Like we just always roasting each other as we work. So yeah, very fun environment. It's basically two components. We have the butter and the buckwheat over here. Yeah, just let it bubble, just let it like slowly brown at the same time.
I can smell that nuttiness starting to come out already. It's very easy to burn actually at this heat.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so you can turn the heat down just a little bit. You can see the color starting to change. And then just like a bit of salt.
Wow, crunchy, buttery. In fact, the brown butter actually brings out that whole nuttiness of the buckwheat even more.
Correct.
Super nice texture. Amanda mentioned that the cashew nut cream was too funky, so maybe the 48 hours fermentation period was a bit too long. So I think that maybe I can reduce the fermentation time since I'm just doing a small batch. 36 hours, I think that will suffice. In the spirit of recreating this dish, I want to plate it as accurately as possible. So I found this one. It's a nice high plate, something that I think Stefan would have used because it looks similar to what the photo looks like. But the color is not really right. It's too white. I think use something a bit more stone-like. What if I combine something like this together? Would this work?
It's been a long journey getting here. With every step, something new surfaced. Another clue, another story. And somewhere along the way, I started to feel like I knew Stefan, even though we never met. Like I was piecing him together through the people who remembered him and the way they talked about his food. Now, I think I'm finally ready for Claresta and Amanda to try it, to see if we've captured even a little of what he once made.
Alright, here's the final one. There you go. So, in the spirit of recreation, we want to try to bring it as close as possible to how Stefan did it, how Stefan served it, how you remember eating it. So if you look at the way that it's actually presented on the pebbles, is what we could see from photos of the dish at Hevel. So we really wanted to add that additional Stefan touch.
Wow, okay. This reminds me, do you know that I'm the one that bought the pebbles in the restaurant?
Really?
Yeah, the one in the restaurant.
Okay.
I'm the one bought it.
Give it a try and let me know what you think.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Shall we? Yeah. All right.
Looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So is it as funky as it was before?
Much less.
So we actually adjusted it such that it's maybe just a sweet spot between 30 to 36 hours.
I think Stefan's one more mouthful, bigger.
I thought it would have been a little bit more seasoned, like more of the seasoning from the cashew cheese.
But it's really close, I think.
Okay.
But really, thank you so much for creating this.
What's one memory that you miss most about Stefan?
I think he is very methodological person. Like every night he will put me to bed, tuck me into bed, and then we'll do the same exact routine. So I think that's something that I will definitely miss the most. The little things like that.
He tucks you into bed?
Yeah, I love that.
What? Sorry. Do you want It's okay, take your time.
I really never thought that I will have a chance to actually eat that piece again, ever. This whole experience is something that I will remember for the rest of my life.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, guys. I really appreciate you coming and sharing this part of your life with us, sharing Stefan with us as well. Yeah, and I have a little surprise for you.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is my interpretation of the recipe for Stefan's cashew nut and banana.